One dialogue exchange that really made me stop and think in alicization is after Kirito threatens Quinella. What he says is a very sound argument. There's no real flaw in its logic, and so when I read this exchange originally, I was left wondering, what could Quinella possibly say back to this? From her research of the command list and her collaborator in RAF, she knew what he was saying to be fact. So, what she did say left both me and Kirito completely speechless.
それならあなたたち向こう側の人間はどうなのかしら。自分たちの世界がより上位の存在に創造されたものである可能性を常に意識し、世界がリセットされないように上位者の気に入る方向へのみ進むよう努力しているの。
This is completely true. Some would say even the most fundamental question humanity has been plagued with for hundreds of years. Is there a god? Is there some kind of divine deity or deities that created the universe and watch over us every day? Whether it be Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, there are so many different beliefs in regards to this question. But despite that, nobody is able to definitively prove if any of these beliefs are truly real or not. That's why both Kirito and I were gobsmacked when Quinella makes this point. As it's true, we can't be absolutely sure that there isn't some kind of higher being out there watching over all of us. That is why it's called faith at the end of the day. But while all these beliefs are vastly different, one thing is very consistent through most, that being the rules and guidelines each faith has to live your life by, ultimately with the goal of appeasing your respective divine entity in the hopes that something good will happen to you in the afterlife, whatever form that may take. That is something that is extremely scary. Speaking from personal experience, I was brought up a Christian. As a kid, the idea of being sent to hell for eternal damnation of torture and suffering if you commit sins in your life is truly terrifying. For me at least, that fear was something that was always in the back of your mind even into my teenage years, making you hesitant and more fearful of simple things than one normally would be, such as swearing or relieving your manly needs, so to speak. So Quinella's follow-up to this point was something that actually made a lot of sense to me. The divine entity for Quinella in this case is Wrath. They supposedly have ultimate power in deciding what happens to both her and the underworld. This is Quinella's answer to that dilemma.
私はごめんだわ。創造心を気取る連中におもねって存在し続ける許しを請うなんて惨めな真似は。
Initially, you may think it's a bold approach, but again, it actually makes complete sense to me when you think about it. As I mentioned earlier, the fear of eternal damnation is actually pretty strong. Living your life terrified of that possibility is really unpleasant and can ruin you if you let it. Even if you're not scared of that really, in order to obey the rules and expectations of a lot of these religions, you have to forego a lot of things that a lot of normal people really enjoy, such as alcohol or same-sex love, for example. I'm sure you could find a lot of people that would consider living your life that way quite limiting and restricting on the joyful experiences that you can have, all ultimately for something that we don't know is real or not. It's pretty likely that you get to the end of your life and then poof, that's it. You fade away into nothing, like breath on a mirror, having missed out on a lot of things that you might have enjoyed or been worried, all for what? So instead of letting fear weigh in the back of your mind or restricting yourself as you live your life, Quinella instead decides simply not to think about that which she cannot control, not wanting to let fear or some faceless, omnipotent person's whim dominate her life. A very understandable choice and one that many people in real life subscribe to. What do you guys think? Personally, I feel like this is something a lot of people think about at least once throughout their lives. So when I saw this exchange in the novel, I found it really interesting and it gave me pause to think. As for me personally, I'm still not really sure what I think of it all yet. After all, what if one of these divine entities ends up being real and you just wake up one day burning in hellfire? That would really blow. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this one. Please leave them in the comments down below, and please do not forget to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe. I am on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, as that is one of the goals I set for myself in 2023. So with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.